What's going on is the Wolf, and we back with another episode of The Couch. And my apologies for the delay because it has been a minute, but I'm excited, and I hope y'all excited because I find myself joined by a serial entrepreneur, Philadelphia native. She go by the name of Topnotch May. Hey, May, what's up, May? How you feeling?
What's up, Wolf?
Oh, man, I'm happy to have you down here.
Man, I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure, to be in your space on your podcast.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me.
So let me ask you this. How was your travels? I know you came all the way from Houston.
Yep.
So how was your travels?
It was good. It was, a smooth ride, and got down here. The weather was good. In Houston, the weather, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Coming down here, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. But overall, it was a good
It was
good
cool travel.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this, right? When you come home, do you be missing it or you be ready to go?
No, I'll be ready to go. When I come home, handle business.
Yeah.
But most of the time I want, spend time with family,
Yeah.
because I'm out Houston by myself for real. So it's just
Yeah.
I come home, I want to spend time with my family. I want to see my friends.
Yeah.
But I be ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something about, when I be in Philly sometimes, it just, give me that push. All right, I can't come back here.
Yeah,
I gotta keep
it's a
hustling.
reminder.
It's a reminder for me to I gotta keep pushing, keep going because I'm not talking bad about Philly, but growing up, it's just I gotta keep hustling. I gotta keep going because I don't want to come back here. So
No, 100%. I get it. It's a reminder. So let me ask you this, right? Because I let them know that you was a serial entrepreneur. So just give us insight on some of the things you do have going on.
Okay, so right now I do trucking. I own a few laundromats. I'm a real estate investor. I own a few properties. I do a lot of
everything.
I do a little bit of everything, but for the main part, those are, my main, things that I focus on and stuff like that. The last 2 years, I recently just got into the, coaching space, helping people, educating people on financial literacy, pretty much just, putting people on, trying to, share the knowledge, share the information. So I recently just did that in the last 2 years, and that's been going really good.
So let me ask you this, right? Because what was the start? What business started this?
So, my first business it's funny because my first business was a boutique.
Oh, yeah?
I started a boutique when I was in college.
Okay.
So, and it was funny because I always had a dream of being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, but it was just I had to figure out what I wanted to do. So when I started the boutique, I started that because everybody else was doing it. It was a popular thing. But I would just wanted to make, some extra money. I'm just thinking all right, well, I'm in college, I'm a broke college, student. I want to make some extra money. So I started the boutique. Yeah. And pretty much it failed. It pretty much, it ain't really do as good as it should have been, or I wanted to do, because I feel and we could talk about this later, but I feel when you do certain stuff, it's you either operating, out of your purpose, or you have a passion for a gift, a talent, or you operating out of desperation, you just want to make some money.
100%.
Yeah, so it was just I just wanted to make some money. So it was it wasn't nothing behind it. It wasn't no purpose behind it. It wasn't no passion. I didn't care,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
when certain things came about, certain errors start coming, customers start complaining. I'm man, I don't want to do this no more.
Once you get the money, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the fulfillment. It's not, you don't want to really run the business.
Exactly. So
what did you feel you learned from that? Because you said it failed, but I don't believe in nothing being a failure. So I want to know, I know you took something from that business. What did you take from it?
I feel from that, I learned, okay, the next business I start, I want to be, passionate about it. I want to be, I want to operate in my purpose. As I, continue to get older, I had to learn, what is my purpose? What did God put me on this earth to do? What did he call me to do? So, at 21, 22, I really didn't know what my purpose was. I'm still, trying to figure it out, So it was just that particular business taught me okay, well, I need to do something and I want to operate out of my purpose,
something
or I want
to,
I want to do something that's meaningful. I don't want to do it because everybody else is doing it. I don't want to hop on, a trend and stuff like that. I want to do, something that's meaningful.
So let's talk about, because you was personally the first black person I know that I seen do the laundromat thing, and I hadn't even known you at the time. I think it just went viral on Twitter or something. And I'm that's dope. And then it was down where I'm from, because you're doing off of Is it in Logan area?
Yeah.
So I was like, it's right down there where I'm from. So when I seen it, I was like, dang, that's dope. So why a laundromat? Like, that's so different.
So how I got started was, so when I was a kid, right? So my mom used to take us to the laundromats. Like, you know, we used to go to the laundromats, and that was like a activity for us. Like, we used to go to the laundromats. You know, they got like games in there, you know, get snacks. Like some days we would be in the laundromats all day, all day, and I would be sitting in there like, where the attendants at? Like, nobody in there. Like, you know, it just like running. It's just running basically by itself. So I'm like, that's dope. Like, so it gave me like, it sparked the interest, and it gave me the idea like, this is a business I can, you know, do while I'm still doing everything else that I want to do. So that what gave me the idea. And then one day I was at work, and, you know, I'm sitting on a computer, and I'm like, I gotta, you know, I knew my end goal. Like, I wanted to leave my job eventually, but I'm like, I need to start, you know, creating like passive income. So like, I Google like passive income ideas, you know, ways that I can, you know, make my money work for me, and pretty much like, you know, where I don't have to physically always be there. And I came across a laundromat. So I'm at work, you know, I'm sitting on a desk, you know, just Googling stuff. And I Googled it, and I'm like, all right, you know, I already had the interest. So I just had to do the research.
Yeah, for sure.
After I did the research, you know, I came across a laundromat on Craigslist. I came across it on Craigslist, reach out to the owner, me and the owner chopping it up, and pretty much like, I want to say like 30 days, like I closed on I bought the laundromat. Like, I already knew it was mine. Like, when 100%. It came, when I seen it on Craigslist, I'm like, this is my laundromat. 100%. Like, so it was just like, I already, you know, spoke it into existence. So it was like, I feel like, when opportunity meet preparation, because I was already ready. Like, I was already ready to invest. I was already like, you know, ready for something. So it was just like, opportunity just met
the preparation. You're like, oh, all right. And it seemed like it'd be illuminated. Like, when you're looking for something, like, it just stand out like this. Like, this is the one. So let me ask you this, right? Because I'm glad you mentioned preparation, because that was going to be my question to follow, was like, where was you working at? You know what I mean? And how did you go about preparing for it? Was you running businesses before this laundromat, or was this the first investment from the job thing?
That was the first business investment. So pretty much when I graduated college, I went off, you know, came back to Philly for like 6 months. You know, I was working, you know, 2 jobs. And I'm like, this not cutting it. Like, I need some more money. Like, I need, you know, I know what I want to do. Like, I know where I'm trying to go, but I need more money. So I reached out to one of my friends, and, you know, she like, oh, I work at, you know, for the government. I'm like, okay, well, can you get me in?
What type of position?
It was it was for the federal government. It was like, are we gonna cut this out?
No.
I ain't want to get into it.
You
but
don't gotta go too deep.
Yeah, so it was like working for the Secretary of State.
All right, gotcha.
Basically, so I was working for the Secretary of State. You know, traveling with them on a travel team and stuff like that. So it was like a high profile job.
Yeah, I'm about to say that, but it sounds like a unique experience though.
Yeah, it was dope. Like dope. Like, it was really, really dope. Like, I got to see a lot, you know, just be around, you know, different, you know, people, professionals and stuff like that. So so pretty much I'm at work one day, I'm sitting on the computer and stuff, and what was your question?
No, you sitting at work, and I was trying to figure out like how you got into the investment out of it.
Okay, so I called my friend, asked her to give me the job. She got me the job, and pretty much I'm like, I'm going to DC. Like, packed all my stuff up, left, came down to DC. I started working that job, and pretty much, you know, I'm saving money, like, because I'm making good money at this job. I'm working for the government. I'm 23 years old. Like, you know, I was making like 75,000, like, you know, at 23. It was a lot of money to me, like, at that time.
That's still good money. Come on. That's still, for a career, that's good money.
For a career, yeah. So I'm like, you know, I'm saving money, you know, I'm saving, and pretty much, like, what was the question?
No, it's cool. We still talking about how you got the laundromat. So it's like, you saved your money, and then you was on Craigslist. You were looking up the building, and then it stuck out to you. And you took your savings, basically and then you
invested into laundromat. But that was my first business, but that wasn't my first investment. My first investment was my property.
Oh, so you had real estate before you got into the laundromat.
Before laundromats. Okay. Yeah, so after I left college, you know, I moved to DC, got me a job, you know, I started working, making good money. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm saving money, and I knew I wanted to be a real estate investor. I knew I wanted to, you know, own property and stuff like that. I just didn't know how to do it. Exactly. So pretty much, you know, I educated myself, you know, and pretty much I bought my first property like within that first year of me working.
All right, so you already was in the past. See, it's crazy, but you said a lot about like doing research, right? Like simply Googling laundromats in Philly, like, or how to make passive income. Those simple questions could take people a long way. And I want people that's out here watching to understand is like, that's literally the first step to start any business. You get in that Google search bar and you say how to do this, or steps to do this, or ways to, and you know, people think that that's not a big deal, but it is, because it took you down a rabbit hole in a sense.
Exactly.
And next thing you know, you educating yourself and you learning more, and then you just got execute in a sense.
Exactly. Like after you do the research and you got all the information, the next step is you basically taking action. Like a lot 100%. Of people, like, you know, sit on information for years and years. But like, I feel like what's going to separate you from everybody else and what's going to separate you from the crowd is pretty much jumping off the porch and taking action.
100%.
Like, you got to take action.
And I always say that. I say application is more important than information. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you could know a car drive, but if you don't know how to drive the car, actually get in to drive the car, you can't really read a book on that type of stuff. You can get the information like, okay, this is this, this is that, but you got to actually apply what you learned for it to be effective. So yeah, that was dope. But let's take it back a little bit, right? Because, all right, cool. We talking about May and the college girl and you know, how you got to the beginning stages of your investments. But let's talk about your childhood. You know what I mean? What was that like? You know, you said you speak a lot about purpose. Was that something that dawned on you as a kid, or was that something that you came into as an adult? And tell us about your childhood.
Okay. So pretty much, you know, I grew up a single parent household. My mom, me, my sisters, you know, we all lived, you know, 3-bedroom house. And pretty much growing up, I ain't gonna say we had a rough childhood. Like, it wasn't bad,
but
had
a Philly childhood.
Yeah, we had a Philly childhood. Like, you know, like, you know how it goes. Yeah. Like, it was cool. Yeah. Like, and I wouldn't change, like, I wouldn't say, like, change nothing, because I feel like, you know, my childhood is what is a part of my story. You know, is what made me the person I am today. But going, like, back into, like, you know, how everything started. So it was times where, like, I didn't never see my mom because she was working so many jobs to basically provide for us, like put a roof over the top of our head, you know, clothes on our back, basically trying to give us everything that we needed to survive in this world. 100%. So it was like, it was days, like, you know, would go by and I ain't see my mom because she working from job to job. When she at work, you know, we going to school. By the time we get home, she at her other job.
Right,
so it was like, dang, like, I'm like, you know, and when you younger, you like, man, like, you know, when you know, I'm a mama's girl, so it's just like,
I want to see my mom.
Yeah, I want to see my mom. So it was like that kind of like, you know, it. I didn't like that. Like it was. I ain't like, you know, coming home and, you know, not seeing my mom, you know, every day. Like I wanted 100%. To, you know, So that would kind of like, you know, got it started, because I'm like, I don't want my child to go through this.
I was just about to ask
you
that.
I don't want my child to go through this. You know, not saying that I blame my mom or you know, but it was just like, I don't want my child to have to grow up and worry about not seeing me because I'm working, you know? So
it makes sense.
So that would really like, all right, well, I know this can't be like, I can't continue this. Like, you know, I gotta break this generational curse. But at the same time, I remember, you know, my mom working all these jobs, and I think 2008 when the market crashed and all that.
I think it was some type of recession.
The recession or whatever, you know, my mom lost her job. So long story short, we had got evicted. Like, so I just remember they come into the house, you know, they put in the letter on the door, and I'm like, Mom, what's that? But she didn't want to really tell me. But you know, I'm a curious person, so you know, I figured it out or whatever, and you know, I'm like, damn, like, we about to get evicted. So you know, that hurted me, like that, like, you know, it hurted me just to see that, you know, my mom busting her ass, you know, working job from job, you know, she run into this hurdle, and now it's like, oh, are we about to get evicted? So right then and there, I'm like, okay, it lit a fire under my ass. All right, well, I want to be a real estate. I want to get in real estate. Like, I knew already wanted to get in real estate, but it was a purpose. Like, nobody would ever be able to evict us again. Like, nobody would ever be able to evict me, my mom, my sisters, my immediate family. Nobody would ever be able to, you know, have that power to be able to do that, you know? So it was just like, that would lit a fire under my ass. I'm like, I gotta get in real estate. Like, before, I used to see him come around and, you know, collect the money for the rent. Like, back in the day, you know, when 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they used to come around, collect the rent money. Now, you know, everything is technology. So everything technology. But he used to come around, you know, every 1st, 5th of the month to collect the money. And I used to ask my mom, like, who is him? And she used to tell me, like, oh, that's the landlord. I'm like, oh. oh, okay.
So it's somebody that own this.
Yeah, like somebody own this, and you know he getting like you paying him.
Yeah.
So I know this probably not the only property he going to collect rent money. So he probably got 10 other properties. That
curiosity started going.
I'm like, oh, I wanna do that. Like I wanna, you know, collecting a check every month. Like, you know, so that would really spark my interest in real estate. And as I, you know, got a little older, I started, you know, learning about it and, you know, teaching myself, educate myself about real estate. And I'm like, I want to do this. Like I seen the quality of life that real estate
could provide.
Yeah, exactly. So 100%. I'm like, I want to do this. Yeah. But when we got evicted, that's what lit the fire under my ass. I'm like, nobody ain't gonna never.
It gave that sense of purpose.
Yeah, it gave me a sense of purpose. Like nobody will ever be able to evict me or none of my family again.
That makes sense. So let me ask you this, right? So now looking at it from a real estate standpoint, owning so many properties. Did you see this for yourself as a kid, or did you think that you wanted one just for that sense of security for the family, or did you know like, no, I want to actually own as much land as possible?
I knew I wanted to like own as much land, as much property as possible. Like I want to take it to the
highest level.
Yeah, the highest level.
What age was it when you got your first property?
23.
Oh, so you got it right out of college?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
I graduated when I was 21.
Okay.
Started working. 22, I bought my first property at 23.
Yeah, yep. That's dope. So let's talk about what was the eviction had. I know that has to be one, but what would you say was one of the hardest things you had to overcome in your childhood, and something that could probably still be affecting you today? Don't go nowhere. We're gonna cut to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna let May answer that question.
Probably been wanted to put a book out, but you overthinking the process. I know how it feels because at one point I didn't have this book out and I didn't have this book out because I didn't know where to start. I didn't know if people would read it. I had a fear of failing. I had a fear of succeeding. I had all of these different things that were stopping me from putting my book out. You probably got some information you want to share. You got a story you want to tell, or just something creative that you want to get off your chest. Stop playing around with your own potential. If God put that on your heart, it's because you qualify. Don't wait for somebody to tell you qualified, and don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. With that being said, I actually have a literature legacy program where I'm helping people like you write, edit, publish, and promote your book. So if you're somebody that got a book idea, whether it's a novel, a self-help book, a devotional, a journal, whatever you can think about, whatever book you're trying to create, you attracted this video for a reason. Why? Because I'm meant and sent to help you. So let me do that. Join my Literature Legacy program. You can either look below for details, or you can DM me for details, because I'm going to help you bring that product that's in your head out into the world. Let's get that book published, man. The Wolf Has Spoken.
So before we cut to the break, I had asked you that question, and, you know, just giving us a bit insight of one of the hardest things that you had to overcome, you know, could have been at your childhood, and it could still be affecting you now, or you could have overcame it. What would you say that has been?
Can we go to back to that question?
Yeah. So all right. So basically, in a nutshell, it's like, I know everybody got their own stories. You know, like you just told us what gave you your purpose, right? You like, all right, like that, because I can see that, like somebody, there's no control over your livelihood. There's no stability in that. When somebody come home and be like, yo, we getting kicked out.
Right.
So like that's an obstacle. Right. I want to know, like, besides from that, is there anything any personal challenges that you had to deal with that you felt like either you overcame or something that you may still feel like you overcoming to this day that could have occurred when you was younger?
I got.
No, we come back to it. All right, it's cool. So, I wanted to talk about. You spoke about, you know, your immediate family not being ever in that position. So, what is family to you? Like, as far as in, like, do you plan to start? Do you have any children? Is that something you want?
Most definitely.
So, what you having all of this going on? Do you see yourself doing that anytime soon, or do you feel like it's not the time?
I feel like. Yeah, I feel like it's not the time right now. Like I wanna do it the right way. Like I'm not in a rush. I feel like when it happens, and I feel like I wanna like when it comes to like having a family and stuff, like I wanna make sure, you know, I'm able to give my kids the life that I wasn't able to have, you know? So it's just like I'm planting seeds right now, and I'm doing the work, and, you know, I'm doing everything so I can be able to, you know, provide and, you give my kids, and my kids don't have to, get it out the mud or, struggle or, go through those, certain things that I had to go through. But definitely, like, that's one of my,
that's a goal.
That's definitely a goal. Like, I value family. Like, that's
100%. That's at the top of the list, but it's just not it's not in front of it's not on the plate right now because you're trying to still get everything in order at the table.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. Dang, it was a question I was just about to ask in regard to, it was going to be family, but I'll come back to it. I want to talk about in the realm of, okay, so you being that's what I was going to say. You kind of bought your time back in a sense with all of this passive income.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You mentioned doing the work, and I was going to say, what does that look like? Like, what does doing the work look like to you? Is it reading? Is it like, you said you're a coach, but do you have coaching? Is it therapy? Like, what does doing the work look like for me?
So doing the work, like, basically just working, like, and just showing up and, like, pretty much just, putting one foot in front of the other and just constantly just going, like, just going, like, figuring it out. Like, I feel like, life is like, is like everything is figure outable.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, so
I get it. I think, all right, so I think you saying, when you said it, you saying doing the work, like in terms of like building up the businesses and the empire. Mm-hmm. When I was saying doing the work, I thought you was more so speaking to like the personal development side, because I see you've been reading a lot.
Yeah.
So like some of the books you like to get to read, like, you know what I mean? Why are they your book choices, and what do you take from them?
So, so the first book that I ever, really that changed like my mindset was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like,
Same.
Everybody.
One of my good, those are good ones, my top 5.
That was, one of the first books that really, like, helped, change my mindset and, how to, my relationship with money and stuff like that. Then I started, educating myself a little more and stuff like that. But when you talk about personal development, I am big on personal development. Like, I pour into myself. I like to, I want to show up as the best version of myself.
100%.
So, I'm constantly reading, I'm listening to podcasts. I'm going to, like, events and, networking events, putting myself in, different rooms and around certain people, like, so I can grow. Like, I feel like if you're not growing, then,
because you either literally, it's really no stagnancy. You're either going backwards or you're going forward, because we're always in motion. So if you're not growing, then you falling behind in a sense. So that makes sense. So Rich Dad Poor Dad was that was a good book. My first book that I went cover to cover with was The 4 Agreements. You ever heard of it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Don Ruiz, he instantly became like one of my go-tos when it came to personal development, because I govern my life behind the 4 Agreements. And for the people that don't know, the 4 Agreements is be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. And when I tell you, them 4 agreements alone, like, you know what I mean, is what I literally govern my life by, because it's always an area where it applies. Right? So it's like, for being impeccable with your word, it just comes down to the self-talk, right? Like, no negative self-talk, not engaging in gossip. That's not my vibe. Like, because that's like, he referred to it as, like, I want to say black magic, just like gossip. And he said 80 or 90% of our communication is about other people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I told myself I would never, I don't sit around and talk about people. I don't care that much. I'm gonna be honest. And I always look at it like it's something that, and it kind of ties into my new book, The Art of Accountability. It's always worked for me to do, so it's no time for me to kind of sit around and talk about other people.
Right.
Then don't take anything personal. That was the biggest thing for me, because I used to take stuff personal. So it's like I always used to look at situations and be like, they why wouldn't they tell me that they knew that they, and it's like, we all live in life through the lens of our own perspective. So to assume that you thinking about me is to make the world revolve around me. So not taking anything personal, I'll be like, well, if you didn't come today, May didn't stand me up because she just don't fuck with me. Something might have came up. I'm more understanding when it comes to other people's individual lives versus me thinking everything revolves around me. And even when even if somebody was to hurt you, it's not because of you.
Right.
So it's like, don't take a compliment to the head, don't take an insult to the heart. Everybody gonna say what they say or do what they do based on how they feel, nothing to do with you. Then the third one was don't make assumptions, and that was a good one, because I made my own term called assume I communicate. It's like, we assume, we think we know already, without, to avoid the communication. Oh, I'm gonna look at your face, you look like you got an attitude, she mad about something.
Right.
I ain't gonna ask how you feeling or what's going on. I'm just gonna assume that something is wrong because of your facial expression, and then I'm gonna take it personal and think it's something I did because it must be me. You know what I'm saying? So then that was the third agreement. That helped me a lot, because now I ask questions. Like, I'll ask before I assume. I don't care the littlest stuff. Is that your water? You be like, you just see me drinking the water, but let me still ask, because I don't want to assume anything. Or is you done with that, or whatever the case may be. Then the last thing was always do your best. And that was beautiful to me, because it was like your best gonna look different on different days. So you different when you healthy versus when you sick.
Right.
You different when you happy versus when you mad. So doing your best is just like, whatever you feel in that moment, just leave it all there. Like this, we're not here to be perfect. Like this ain't got to be a perfect interview.
Right.
But just leave no questions unanswered that you can answer, and do your best while you're here, and we put it out. And like them 4 agreements, I always found ways to apply it to my life. So anybody that's watching this, I want y'all to check out those books. That book in particular, because it really did change my mindset. But I'm big on reading, and as you know, like I'm an author, and he was like one of the inspirations for that. So outside of, did you ever get a chance to read the 4 agreements? And
I ain't read it yet.
Tap into it. There's a list of books I'm gonna give you that I want you to tap into. But I want to go back in, and if you need time to answer this, let me know. I want to know, with you having so much success in entrepreneurship, how does that plague you in the dating world? Like, does it make it easier, or does it make it more of a challenge?
Definitely more of a challenge. I feel like the more successful you become, the harder it is to like really like, find, that person. Yeah. And
challenging. I don't say the word hard.
Challenging.
I don't say hard. I say challenging. So the more challenging it becomes.
It's challenging. Yeah. So, so I feel like, with dating, like, I'm a lover girl. So, I like to be in a relationship, and I enjoy being in a relationship, but it's like right now I feel like, I am focused on, what I got going on, basically, trying to get to a certain level, but it's definitely hard out here. Like the dating scene is bad. Like,
so all right, let's talk. Let's unpack if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So when you look at the what makes it a challenge, and I got a few questions that I'll ask you, but just on that question alone, what makes it a challenge? Like, what is the challenge for you?
Just the type of guys that's that's out here. Like I feel like I don't know, like it's just like the type of like
you can speak freely, phone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, but like I don't know, it's just challenging because it's like finding somebody that you really want to like to settle down with, and like I feel like relationships is big to me. Like I'm not jumping into a relationship just to say I'm in a relationship. I want to, I want a partner. Like it's a lot of things that go into when I say relationship. Like it's a lot of things that go into that. So like it's like what we really doing here. You know, 100%. Like we ain't about to be having like situations and doing the toxic stuff and all that stuff. Like it's like what are we doing here?
What
like
are we working towards?
Yeah, like what are we working towards? Like marriage, family, stuff like that. So it's just like when it comes to relationship, like I'm big on that, and like. Our generation, like, it's just like everybody like is like trying to like out to get something. Like everybody like have
own agenda,
their own agenda. So you really got to be able to like navigate and like do the dating world and just pretty much find somebody that's that you're willing to like build with and that's basically aligned. Like I when it comes to relationship, like we got to be in alignment. Like,
100%.
Like got to be in alignment. So it's just like. I'm not in a rush, or nothing. Like my dating life not bad. Like like I'm still working on like everything that I got going on, but at the same time, like if it comes, if it happens, right. It happens. You know, like.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to like, do you being in alignment? Do you already have an understanding of what you're looking for in a partner, or that's something you're still trying to establish within yourself?
Most definitely. I
you feel like you understand?
Yeah, I definitely have like understanding, because I feel like you gotta date to really know what you want, what you don't want, like your negotiables, your non-negotiables. So like I feel like I've been in that. I've been in that. I went through that process, and I feel like my the last toxic relationship that I was in is really what taught me like, okay, well I have to I want to be intentional when I date. Like 100%. I want to be intentional, and like I want to be I don't know if you ever heard of this lady. Her name is Spirit, and she like a relationship coach and stuff like that. But she talks about like relationships and like compatibility and stuff like that. So she got this acronym. It's called RISE. Like relationships either rise or they fall. And the acronyms is recreational intimacy, intellectual intimacy, spiritual intimacy, and I think the other one was emotional. So like sometimes when I be like, thinking about relationships and stuff like that, I want to make sure we're compatible on those level. Like on those levels. Like, it's just a lot when it comes to relationship. Like
let me ask you this, because and the reason I like to get into this because I feel like a lot of like self-made successful women, they all tend to say the same, or in one or two ways, like is a challenge to date. Mm-hmm. Is it? Do you think that it's the success aspect of it that makes it challenging for you? Like, are you trying to find a man that's compatible in every area, like you just, with the whole RISE acronym, but at the same time on your level financially, or is that the back end of it? Like, is that not one of your focuses?
Financially, I feel like he don't have to be rich or nothing like that, but I want somebody that's on, my level, if not higher. I want it to be, everything to be reciprocated. Like, I want to be able to, you teach me stuff, I teach you stuff. We helping each other grow or whatever the case may be. But I feel like, I want to, I don't want to, at this point in my life, I don't want to have to build nobody up. I don't want to have to, just
but what
go
that
through
mean?
That process.
What do building somebody up look like? Because I feel like in relationships, you do have to build. There's no way you meet somebody perfect. So y'all going to build each other up. So what type of building? Like, are you saying a man that don't know what he want?
Yeah, like he don't know what he want. Like have no purpose, no vision. Like
got you.
I don't want to create the man that I want you to be. I want you to be.
Yeah. So all right. So let me ask you this, right? You could put it in perspective. So say you get a man with a vision, right? He's ambitious. You know what I mean? But he's not where you at financially. But you see the plan. Like he's in his path. With or without you, he gonna get there. But is that a man that you can build with, or do you feel like he already? Because you said you want somebody to either be equal or more established. So is that within himself development, or is that within how much he earns?
Just self-development. Like I feel like when it comes to money, I'm not dating like a guy that's broke. But at the same time, you have to be able have some type of be in a financially in a good position. I don't believe in kind of like dating when you chill trying to figure stuff or you down down and out, you shouldn't be dating right now. You shouldn't be focused on dating.
I'm about to say that. So let me say this, because I feel like a lot of that get lost in translation. I see a lot of podcasts on the internet and women to make that statement, and then it'd be an uproar. But I feel like it's not that, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that it's necessarily a success in terms of broke, they don't have they dead pop, but more so you don't want to date a man without a purpose, without a vision, without a grind, because you know what I mean? Because it's like you started. How do you know if your mommy asked?
28.
28. So all right, you got 5 years in on this. So you seen what 5 years could do. So would you meet a man that's on purpose and give him that 5 years to he's literally in his path and he doing it, or do he have to already have been there? And I'm asking for a reason.
Yeah, I'll give him a chance.
All right, because the reason I'm asking is because I mean when y'all say that the dating world is challenging, it's the way I'm speaking from men. Most men would rather meet a woman on his way up than when he get there, because for us, that's when we know who we got. You know what I mean? And for you gonna know who you got when he already there, because he gonna show his ass based on the success, or he gonna remain with his humility.
Right.
So if you say you want a man that's already there, you're never gonna have that way to create that bond.
Right.
Because he gonna be he gonna look at you like an accessory.
Exactly. Because
that's just gonna be a man mindset. You know what I mean? It's but if you got a man where it's y'all could be at the same level, even if y'all both 7-figure earners, but he trying to go to 8 figures.
Right.
That's still that journey where it's she met me when I was only making $1 million and now I'm making $100 million.
Right.
So it's always going to be that growth. But the reason I ask for clarification is simply because a lot of women say, I'm not dating nobody that's broke. And men they accredit it directly to the finances. But I personally, just in my experience, I've had a girl that had way more money than me and girls that didn't know what they wanted to do with themselves. And it always was an ambition thing. It was never a money. They just wanted to see a man doing something because.
Exactly.
And for the men watching, I'm going to just speak to this, right? When you thinking about being a man, you got to be a man before you meet the woman, right? And what that means is whether it don't matter what you making, you have to already be independent, because you don't got to say I'm an independent man. No, you're a man, and by being a man, we men and get measured by how we handle our responsibilities. The more you make, the more you can handle your responsibilities. The more you make, the more you can handle her responsibilities. The higher quality of the woman that you're gonna deal with. But you're not gonna be meeting a woman and then you haven't got your responsibilities underway to a certain degree, and expect her to have patience with you.
Right.
Expect her to want to wait. I feel like that's where people miss it. It's not really the conversation is not how much you make versus how much he make.
Right.
It's more so how can he handle his responsibilities.
Exactly.
And for me, I'll give you my personal philosophy on it. I feel like as a man, it is levels to dating, right? And you should be okay with that. I wouldn't want to date a woman who I can't take care of. So I understand as a man, like, all right, I can't afford her bills. I catch her when I get there because I'm not going to expect her to lessen her to be for me. But I also understand that if that's who I want, then I'm gonna rise to the occasion. And I feel like y'all try to get these women prematurely because if you're a man, it's not hard to attract a woman, but it's not about getting a woman. It's about being able to keep her. Yeah. And it's like, if you could, I could get you can get a bad bitch, but if the only thing you could do is have sex with her, but you can't really add and the value don't got to be money. I've met women that made way more than me, but I changed their mindset, changed their lifestyle, elevated them, taught them self-love, all of the damage. Because even if they getting money and they getting damaged by men at this level that's making what they make, she's still a damaged woman. You still can add value to her life. But if your confidence is lacking because you comparing the success of the money, then you do need to wait and get yourself together. I literally went on a 90-day fast last year from dating, from sex, from all of that to prepare myself for whatever, to get myself in order, because it's like when you really look at it, we all living our life, nobody going nowhere. Right. No, it's like she'll be there in 6 months, and if she not, catch her in the back, and if she not, then get somebody else that will be there, and just stay in your lane and understanding that if you make, I don't care, $40,000 a year, bro, it's bad women at that. It's beautiful women at every financial tier. Exactly. She ain't got it. If you know that this one kills your confidence because you can't afford certain things, don't feel down about yourself. Rise to the occasion or stay in your lane. But I say that to say because I feel like the conversation be had so much and it's just a misunderstanding from what y'all asking. You do got it right. If you live in your mortgage or whatever, your home is $3,500 a month. A man can't tell you to go live in a $1,200 a month apartment. Like, because now you didn't work to get here. But that was just my little rant. But I got a question for you. So, because I do wholeheartedly believe that the more money you make, the more of a challenge it's going to be, unless your mindset shifts to being patient. But you said you'll wait for a man, so I guess that question really is irrelevant for you because you already said that if a man is on purpose and he on his way, you'll stick it out with him. I will, but at the same time, you gotta have that discernment where he might have this vision, he might have this purpose or this potential, but he might never live up to it. 100%. So you gotta be able to sometimes you gotta be able to pivot. All right, well, I know what you're telling me. Yeah. You say you got this vision. I believe you. Yeah. But you can't buy the dream. Yeah, are you gonna live up to it? 100%. Nowadays you gotta take people for face value. No, that's good. I'm not even gonna lie. That was good advice, and I'll speak to that. I feel like you said, somebody has to be showing that they're actually serious. It's like somebody I want to run for president, but they ain't got no campaign slogan, they ain't print out no posters. And then what I tend to see that happen, because I'm a relationship coach, I see women overly involve themselves. I'm supportive. I'm gonna go print the posters out. I'm gonna set an alarm and make sure. No, you don't have to push a man to be a man. We literally gonna rise to the occasion. Exactly. So it's like, I agree with you. That's the discernment part. It's like if a man got a vision and he not taking no steps toward that vision, I wouldn't say wait it out, because either you're gonna do it or you're not. Right. You know what I mean? The way I look at it, we put our time and energy until we want to. I'd say it's such thing as they be like, oh, he not motivated, he'll sit around and play the game. No, he's motivated, he just mismotivated. It takes energy to play the game. Right. It takes thoughts. You have to think, you have to do, you have to get up, you have to do things. But if he's playing the game, that's just where he's putting his motivation. He ain't motivated to get no money, or he not motivated to go do this. And it's just about understanding that just getting out of bed takes motivation. Now what you do when you get out of bed is gonna determine if your life is good or if you want some BS. But I don't encourage no woman to overly invest in a man that's not investing in himself. But I understand the difference in a man who hasn't got there yet. So would you invest? Say if you got a man with a plan and he like, yo, I need $50K for this. You putting that into him? Absolutely. Even if he a broke ass nigga. What if that 50 be the drum? What if the 50 is the? What if the 50 is the? You know what I'm saying? A broke? I don't even say shit like that. I'm using that term because that's what you use the word broke. But I'm more so saying a man who don't got the finances, but he got a vision. You come down, you see it damn, he man, it's no different than he get that 50K from the bank. You ain't gonna be his bank. Yeah, you'll be his bank. Oh, all right, cool. But cool. you gotta show me a plan. Yeah, you gotta show me a plan. You gotta I gotta know that you are going to invest this money. You ain't about to just ask me for the 50K and you about to fuck it off or whatever. For sure. I gotta know, you gotta come with a plan. It makes sense. It makes sense. I only ask that because I don't know, man. I be feeling if a lot of men understood that, they'd come with a plan. Like you go get a chick and she might be more well off than you to start, but it don't have to end that way. Like literally life is a game of ebb and flow. It's ups and downs. So if you meet a girl, it could, and somebody put that in my perspective before by saying that like he would, a guy was on a podcast would say he would deal, I forgot what the rich woman was, but he said he'll deal with her and that like that'll change his life. And for me, I'm like a get it from the mud type of thing. I'm like, I'm not getting no money from no, but when he said it, I'm like, it's no different to get money from the bank in a sense. It's like if your chick is the bank and you flip the situation, but I still don't feel comfortable, but that's just a self thing. But I understood the perspective, so I wanted to bring it to the table. But let's talk about and we're gonna still stay in the realm of finances. I was gonna say, so you deal with a man and he got more money than you, but he treats you like shit.
Yeah.
You cool with that? Just because?
Nope.
So all right, so let's narrow it down. The man has to. You're not saying these ain't your exact words, but I'm saying like it, just in a criteria, it would be ideal to have a man that's financially cool and treat you right.
Exactly. Like
that's gonna be a challenge.
That's
gonna be a challenge for sure.
Like the way I'm treated, like are you a good person? Like values and stuff like that. I don't care about like
the money part.
Money part. Like 100%. Like I feel like. Yeah, like in this day and age, I feel like when men with, high value men or whatever, with a lot of money, it comes with a lot. Like, like
I don't think that's a high value man though. Because there's so many high value men that you said
I didn't say a high value man, but I meant to say like, men that, just.
No, I'm saying you right when you said the morals, that's the high value.
Right.
The money is the last part about it. Cause like the high value men is the man with the morals, the man that got the integrity, the man that's going to treat you cause a man that respects. I give respect to a dog, as a janitor, a CEO. It's a respect is a principle.
Right.
It's not like, oh, you broke, I don't respect you. Oh, you unless you just a nut ass individual. That's what I'm not. I'm like, you don't just. But other than that, I just give everybody respect. So I think the high value men is the men that lead in that way. You know what I mean? So. The money part, that just because a man is, because I feel like I see it on the internet all the time. Oh, high value man, 7-figure earner, 6-figure earner.
Yeah. It's not about just money.
Yeah, the money man make the money don't make the man in a sense. You know what I mean? But as a woman, do you think that you will be able to, like, you run your own life? Like, would you be able to, let a man be a man?
Absolutely.
In your life, do you know that a man being a man means that your life that was once free now comes with boundaries and restrictions? Are you cool with that? So
at this stage in my life, yes. Like,
right, cool.
I feel like, I've been that alpha female and I've been, it's like I'm ready for that. Like, I can now, like, I want to, sit back and, operate in my feminine and, just, be submissive.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it comes to like being submissive, like you got to be able to lead me, guide me. Like it comes with a lot, like, so it's just like.
What does leading you look like though? What does guiding you look like?
Just being able, like, just being a good person, just being able to make decisions, like, operate in your manly figure, like, being in control, like, making the right decisions, like, just being an entrepreneur and, a female and stuff like that. Like, it'd be a lot sometimes. So when I come home or whatever, I don't want to think, like, so I want you as a man to be able to, make decisions for me or make decisions for us that's going to, help us or whatever the case may be. Like, it just be like, it just be a lot. So I just feel like as a man, like, I feel like when it comes to being a good man, I feel like you got to be able to lead me, Yeah,
I agree. I think it's definitely leadership is a quality of being able to think for everybody and having the best intentions. Like simply said, like I have to come up with a plan that fits everybody, and I have to make sure that it's not a plan that's revolved around my benefit. It has to benefit everybody. Right. But I feel like everybody, I see a lot of this go on social media, and it just be like, a lot of women say, I don't think submission is conditional. Like you either submissive or you're not. Right. Because it's not. That's like me saying, oh, I'll be honest for the right person. It's I'm either honest or I'm a liar.
Right.
So I think that you will notice the energy, and like what every woman seems to have the same energy in terms of that alpha. And I'm not saying there's no submissive women out here, but I tend to, even if I attract a woman that's like alpha, like I got a girlfriend, my girl used to doing everything by herself, like, but now she's learning, because I feel like it's a process. I have to learn.
It's definitely a process.
I gotta let him do, because like you said, you want me to think for you, but not when it's convenient for you. Like, you want to make the decisions, but no, it's like, it's either you with the program or you not. And I asked, is you willing to be that? Because that's really what a man is. Like, it's a program. It's like, yes, it's like having I'm not comparing y'all to children, but it is like having children where it's like you got to set boundaries in what your kids can do. Are they going to do whatever they want? And if they used to doing whatever they want, coming into somebody's life who you made well off have a bunch of investments, you doing what you're doing, it's like, are you willing to let a man say, man, you ain't, this ain't happening no more? Like, you ain't doing that. Would you be like, all right, you know what? This is what I signed up for. He's right. I'm going to just listen to my man.
Yeah, and no.
All right, so what's the no? Go ahead.
Hold on, I gotta put some gloves on.
Go ahead. All right, well, while she do that, we're going to cut to another quick commercial break because we definitely need to get these sponsors in here. So don't go nowhere. When we come back, we're going to finish up the discussion on the couch, and I'm happy to be back. Let's get it.
Hey, Wolf.
What's going on?
Why should I register my business with First Step Marketing and not LegalZoom?
Can I do some examples?
Yep.
All right, cool. What am I holding in my hand?
iPads.
And which one would you pay more for?
That one.
Are you referring to the black one?
Yep.
Why?
Because it's bigger, it looks nicer, it holds more information.
What about now? What am I holding in my hand?
Books.
Which one would you pay more for?
Neither.
Why not?
They're the same book, they hold the same information.
Okay, so that pretty much describes why you should come to First Step Marketing and not LegalZoom. Don't pay more to get the same information. Don't pay more to get the same results. We are offering you the same information and you'll get the same results by registering your business with First Step Marketing, and you'll save a ton of money. Come check us out. All right, so we back from that quick commercial break. You know what I mean? And we left off at, basically, I'll just put the question in a nutshell. Are you willing to give up your say-so, in a sense? And I'm not saying you have no say-so for the audience that might jump to that, but are you willing to give it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So explain why, not even what, but why would you be okay with giving it up?
I don't know.
You don't got your answer?
Yeah.
It's cool, but I think that that's dope because the reason I like to dissect these questions a lot because it be a lot of people saying this type of stuff, but it never, I don't ever take it how it come out. So like when a girl say, oh, I want a man, if a man can't lead, I won't, but like I said, either you gonna submit or you not. But like I was saying, even in a brief break, it's like, when you are used to having your own, doing your own, coming, it's like not having a curfew. And then somebody like, yo, you know, my door's closed at midnight.
Right.
You start to feel like a child, like, who are you? But it's like, that's really the program of dealing with a leader. It's like, I gotta tell you to come in at this time because if something happens to you, I'm the one that gotta go out and fend for you.
Right.
So I'm not trying to keep you in here because I want you not to be outside. I'm keeping you in here because it's my job to protect you. And I feel like social media and society has made protection seem like control. And it's a fine line. The thing is, it can model that. Like I got daughters, I got a girl. It's like it is rules and regulations, but that's because if my kids are out at a certain time, it's my responsibility to save them if something happens. Right. So me being a leader, I'm gonna think ahead of it. Yo, don't be outside past 10 o'clock. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, but the control only comes into play when she wants to stay out past 10 o'clock. I'm speaking to my kids at this point. Dad, I want to stay out till 11. No, come in at 10. You're trying to control me. No, the rule is the rule. So it's like, I feel like a controlling man has no purpose behind what he's doing. It just, I don't know. I just don't like it. Or he can't articulate it. But a leader is like, I understand that I don't care what my girl wear, but I understand what wearing certain shit attracts.
Right.
So if that, my famous thing is, what's your reasoning? If she could explain to me something she want to do and it makes sense, go ahead and do it. But if it don't make sense, it's like, we all adults. You know why you're doing certain things. Right. So you either doing it for good reasons or you're doing it for bad reasons. Nothing is never done without reason. So it's like, and that's for the men out here too. You ain't gotta never you could be okay with whatever. We grown. Have your boundaries, set your boundaries. But at the same time, if they got something they want to do, try to understand their reasoning behind it. All right, that's fine. You want to go, I'm all right with that. I got my reasoning for why I don't want you to go. But give me your reason for why you do want to go.
Right.
And my reason is always going to be if it's security. Like I told you off camera, I don't club. So like me dating a girl at club, it wouldn't make sense. I'm in the bed.
Right.
You call me at 2 a.m, a guy just slapped your ass. Now I got to get up out my bed, put clothes on, come down. You come on, you fucking you adding problems to my life. But if you like, all right, cool, I'm in the club every week, you come with me. We outside. Right. You know, or if you go to this club, I go to that club, we both outside. So I'm still your security guard while I'm out there. But if I'm in the bed, you calling me to danger. So it's just little shit like that. I explain that to the guys because I know that y'all want to lead correctly. I know that y'all want to express yourselves correctly, but you can't do it from a sense of how you feel. It just got to make logical sense. As a man, we not going to like certain things, and you got to find room to be okay with that. But if it makes sense, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Now, if you just downright, if it don't make sense, then that gives you more ground to stand on when you're explaining to your woman why something isn't appropriate. Like my whole thing with my household is, personally, like, I want to choose where we live. I don't care what it look like once we in there. You can decorate it, but for me, because I'm the one who has to protect the kids, I gotta choose. I want to choose the school zone because I gotta protect you. I want to choose the neighborhood. But once we in the neighborhood, I can care less what flowers you put, what paintings you choose. Now I might want to put my little touch a little bit, but I can offset that decision because I'm not an interior designer. That's women normally got the touch with that. But I'm not debating on where we living. It's my choice. It's not an option. It's like we living in this neighborhood, and I'm gonna choose the amount we pay because I'm the one that got it. If it all falls, it's my bill. So I don't care if you want to live in a $5,000 a month mansion. If I only can afford a $3,000 a month crib, that's where we live in. And as a man, you got to know when you are the decision maker and when you offset the decision, because like they still adults, they still human, and you can't control every single element. You just got to know what you want and what you don't care about, and what you don't care about, let them have. You know what I mean? And same thing go for the ladies. Like, if you know damn well you want a man that's going to protect and provide, it look a certain way.
Right.
Like, it does not look like I'm going to do what I want and this man is just going to let me.
Right.
We got boundaries. We really have boundaries. It's like, you could do that, but you're not about to represent me like that. And, you know, but I don't know, I said, and this is our open discussion. So I hogged a lot of the microphone and I asked 100 questions back to back, and I said I wouldn't. I apologize for that. But now I said, your turn. You can ask me some questions.
So do you feel like women need men and men need women?
1,000,000%.
Because I feel like, you know, in our generation, we be like, oh, I don't need it. I don't need a nigga, like, you know. And some men be like, oh, I don't need a girl, like I don't need a woman in my life, like, you know. But I feel like we need each other.
100%. Even not even just romantically, but just for the balance of life. I feel like to speak on the people saying they don't. Most people say they don't need what they don't even have. So it's easy to say I don't need you. You don't have it.
Right.
Like somebody like I've heard women say I ain't need my dad. You didn't have a dad. No disrespect, but you can't say you didn't. You don't know what the presence of a dad would have did for your life. To say you don't, even as a man, I had a stepdad, but I still was areas where I felt like I needed my dad. Like I needed my, you know what I mean? So it's like a person saying I don't need money, or I found solitude in living in this trailer. I don't need money. No, you found comfort in your situation.
Right.
But to say you don't need money is just because you created a life that made you not need it. But if you want more, you're going to need more, and that's just the truth. So the same thing with relationships. When you want to build a family, you need a partner. When you want to build something longevity, build a legacy, you need a partner. So to say you don't need it, just saying I'm going to settle for not having.
Right.
So that's that. But for me, my philosophy on, even when I wasn't in a relationship, I keep a lot of platonic friendships with women because I need women. Like, women are organized. Women are smart. Women are the person that I can vent to. Not on no pillow talking shit because I don't really subscribe to that. But just being able to, because I go to my homies when I want solutions. I go to the woman when I want to be heard out emotionally. And I feel like that, like, the society trying to soften the situation. Oh, men don't got men that they can vent to. At the end of the day, my homies could come to me and vent to me one time. The second time, what we doing about the problem? Maybe you get 2 times because it might be something deep, but we solutionists.
Right.
But a woman will listen to your problems all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you want to really, really vent, and I'm a coach, so people vent to me, men vent to me. I'm not gonna rush them out of these situations, but I'm just saying that's not natural for men to sit around and talk about their problems.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the problem. We're gonna be like, what's next? For the woman, you can talk about that all day. So if I need a woman's perspective, like if I want to understand a woman, you need women, you need them. And my philosophy too is you get more from a woman when you don't fuck her.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. Like the moment you fuck a woman, the respect go down. She stop hearing you. It's like you almost gotta know what you signing up for as a man once you insert that situation, because her logic to you goes out the window. It's like now everything is being viewed through her emotions. It's not you was funny, but now why you out here making them chicks laugh?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's cool, but if we need a community of women to be better men. Like I need women. How many women I need to deal with, that's contingent upon how many problems I want to solve.
Right.
Because when you deal with a woman, she's going to bring you extra problems. Whether it's a headache or whether she got shit going on and you're going to solve in her life, that's more problems. So I don't want to deal with 20 girls because I don't want 20 girls' problems.
Right.
But I got a best friend that's a girl. I got girls that I call my sisters.
Yeah, so now that you say that, I was going to ask you that. So you say you have a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And so... Cause you know how we be like, oh well, I don't want my boyfriend to have female friends, you know, y'all might say, oh, I don't want you to have male friends, but I feel like you said, those platonic relationships are really important.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
For the people that don't really like
subscribe to that,
like how would you like
I think for this relationship right now, I mean, it came down to just the intentions I set. Like, ain't nobody gonna make me do something I don't want to do. If I fuck another girl, it's because I wanted to. So you don't got. If I'm a man first. I'm an honest person too. So it's like I tell you to your face whatever it is. I'm not the person that play these relationships. Oh, that's just my friend, and I'm out here doing nut shit. Like I ain't on that. So it's just about making her see. Because when we think about securing a woman, the first part you gotta secure is her mind, because that's where all the fires happen first. Like I said, you gotta be a firefighter. Like you gotta put out little fires in a woman's head every single day. The little slightest thing could be blown out of proportion because she goes down a rabbit hole and she's overthinking. So for me, it was just about making sure she understood the relationships that I have. Let her see. She see me answer my phone. I don't do none of the would-be sneaky stuff. Like the girls that are cool, they know. I even let them know. Listen, you know what I mean. Some type of formal introduction. Let her feel the energy, because you know she might want to see. Let me see if she really got some. But these are girls that have been in my life well before my relationship. So it's like these relationships are built through like some shit we didn't overcame. Not no, you know what I mean? And then I'm a relationship coach, and women always reach out to me. So it's like I have to have a certain level of self-discipline within myself as a man, because whether they're attractive or not, I gotta know, you know, what I stand on and what I stand for. So, you know, I think it would just make her understand that I'm not pussy pressed. And I think for men to understand a woman having men in her life, I prefer that, as long as it's what it is. So it's like, I want a woman to have a community of men because it creates a balance, and because women are probably, it's like, I don't want my girl going to a man to solve none of her problems because I'm gonna solve them. But as far as in, like, she do got a male friend, you know what I mean? Whereas like, but this man also, a man has to know that man's intentions, because that's a big thing. It's like, a lot of men do think with their penis, but not all men do. And I'm the benefit of the doubt person. Like, unless I get a weird vibe behind how a man acting, I kind of just take it at face value. And if I'm big on my boundaries, so like, it's on her. You fuck this up, that's on you. I'm not the guy that's taking you back. I'm not that. I'm not the guy that's going. You're not running over me. None of that. I'm gonna respect your space, and you know, if this is what it is, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you're gonna be honorable. And I believe that I would choose a woman with a good character that's not gonna be running no game, no movie on me. You know what I'm saying? But in the event that I find it out, I'm not searching, none of that. I just remove myself. So I think that as a man, I don't believe that. I'm just saying it on candid camera. I don't believe men to be monogamous. Like, and that's just 100% what it is. But I feel like it's ways to approach. Like, the difference is, I'm focused on my purpose, so I'm not chasing pussy. So it's not that I'm monogamous. I'm just not focused on girls. But that's just what it is. That's not my focus. So with my family being my focus, it stops me from chasing and pursuing and entertaining other women. I don't have time for that. I don't have energy for it. I look at it like extra problems. But naturally in my spirit, like, I feel like you might want one guy. Like, that's your choice. Like, that's what you want. And I feel like society tries to project y'all wants on us. Like, we never had a meeting and said, yo, so we all good with just having one? Niggas off the scene, they not on that. And I feel like the internet is a bunch of men just getting on there lying, trying to make it seem like it's gonna be this perfect man out here that doesn't want some extra sex. And then the conversation changes. Well, what if she want extra dick? She don't want it, so why are we talking about it? And if she did want it, she would find a way to get it. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I feel like a woman gonna do what she want to do. So, you know, as a man, you know, and it should just look different for us. You know what I mean? I know I pivoted a little bit, but I said that to say, because it just makes sense. It's like, even when it comes down to, you could walk outside, a man gonna try to talk to you. Without you don't have to do nothing. You just walk outside, right? But I'm expected to go outside and not look at women. It's not realistic. I'm looking at women, and I'm flirting, and I'm doing all that because I know my intentions. For me, I'm a hunter. For you, you're a prey. So when you go out, just being May, just being you can post a selfie, 1,000 DMs. Girls ain't about to just jump in my DM. So if I see something, because I understand that I know where I'm not going with it, and I know my intentions, but it's like, you get to stroke your ego when you go out because you just look good and you feel good, but I got to go out and repress my ego because that's not realistic. And I've been, now that I've been in a relationship, and these are real conversations we have, and it's like, of course she's not going to be okay with it, but she respect me as a man, and know I'm not going to never disrespect her. Like, I ain't going to never I'm not about to play in my girl face, or but I'm not about to not be a man either. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I say that too because I wanted that to be for the people that's out here watching. I know people going to have their own opinion on it, but people gonna do what they want to do, and I think it's about understanding the nature of a man, understanding the nature of a woman. The nature of a man is to hunt, so a man is going to be fascinated by seeing certain things, because it's not like women is walking up to us like, oh, look at you, daddy. It's not happening. So, you know, that's our way of. And now I always tell my girl, the equivalent to that is, me not flirting is you not posting pictures because you get your shit off when you post a selfie. I get my shit off if I like a pic or I'm not a thirst bucket. That's not my vibe. Like I ain't on that. But you know, I might have a little conversation, say a little something smart and just keep it pushing. I got a girl, like, and I'm honest about that. I just, you know, keep my little ego going. But you know, it's gonna be that fake mature guy out here that's gonna try to act like, yeah, nah, man, it's not realistic. Like, you know what I mean? If a nigga could have his family and then deal with a woman, he's gonna, and 9 times out of 10, if that's where he's gonna do it. I ain't trying to throw the guys under the bus, but I just gotta be real. Like, I don't want no girls operating in delusion.
Right. So,
but let me ask you this: what's your thoughts on that, though? What's your thoughts on you dealing with a man and him like, listen, May, I want to marry you, I want to be with you, but every now and again, I'm trying to play around.
Absolutely not.
So, like, break it down. I feel like every girl gonna say that, but I just want to hear your philosophy on it.
I don't believe in it. Like, I mean, you not about to sit here and say, like, you know, you want to marry me, but you still want to, you know, play around and, you know, be outside and, you know.
What does that look like? What does playing around look like to you, though? Like, what does that look like? How do you interpret that?
Like, basically, like, dealing with other women or, you know, casually, like, having sex or whatever. Like, flirting, like, I'm not worried about that. But, like, actually, like, entertaining other women and, you know, like, we not doing that. Like, not if we getting married. Yeah, no, you like,
know, that's true. Because I'm a bureau. I agree with that. I feel like once you make that decision to get married, that's a whole different commitment.
Yeah, that's a whole different commitment. Now, if we, you know, we just dating and stuff like that, and we just, you know, just dating, then that's a different story. But marriage, I feel like that's a whole.
So you would never be open to that at all?
No.
So let me ask you, and it's just a hypothetical. What if it was like no man? And I'm not saying this thing. What if it's no man in the world that's not like that? But he meet everything, but he just like, you know, I would do whatever to make you happy. But, you know, tricking off every now and again make me happy. No touchment, no nothing. You wouldn't be okay with that? Would that be in his form of happiness? No.
I just wouldn't.
No, I get it though. No, it's crazy because it's some. I mean, you know, with this new variation of life, it's women out here that is cool with it, you know, and it's to each his own. But I feel like for a person like you looking for what you're looking for, it is men out here that are beyond those phases because I feel like because I had an extensive childhood of dating, being around or whatever it may be, I don't have that desire.
Right.
Like it feel good to say, but I probably ain't really because when I would have thought. I'd be like, man, I ain't got time for this shit. But I feel like there's a lot of men who haven't had, they didn't have their way yet.
Exactly.
So, you know.
I feel like it's like you said, a lot of men haven't had their way. Like they still like want to be outside. They want to, you know, deal with multiple women and stuff like that. So just finding like, you know, that person that like, all right, well, you know, I'm done. Like, you know, I had enough or, you know, I did X, Y, and Z. Like, you know, so it's just like.
But all right, let me ask you this. What if the roles were reversed though? What if you wanted that? What if you wanted that? And like, would you expect a man to be okay with that? No?
No.
Is you saying that because you don't want it? Or are you saying that because it's truly how you feel? Because we speaking hypothetically. Like, in a hypothetical sense.
I don't want that. Like.
No, but I'm saying, say you did. I know you don't, but I'm saying if you did. If you wanted that, would you want him to be okay with it? All right, you know why you want better? Because maybe sex isn't a violent. Would you want him to be? And I know somebody's gonna try to say it's not the same, but it is because there's a logic standpoint. Would you want him to be okay with you, you know, working so much and being an entrepreneur, and having so many businesses and not being there to be, let's say, like you know, I ain't gonna say a stay at home, but you know, a more available in the household type of girl. You'll be okay with that? I mean, you want him to be okay? You want him to be okay with you still working, even though he wants something opposite?
Yeah, I would want him to be like okay
cool with
me
your lifestyle.
With you know, having my own thing going on, you know, running businesses like and stuff like that. But like he not gonna like come into my life and say, oh, I'm shutting all this down. Like you can't do X, Y, and Z. You can't run your business. Like I want you to literally like stay at home or, you know, and be a stay at home wife. Like no. So
all right. So from a logical standpoint, right? Wouldn't you say that's the same thing? If a man say to you in the beginning, like, listen, May, like, I want to be with you, but I want to do this. Is that not the same? You know, feel free to express.
I don't think so.
You don't think it's the same? What makes it different?
Just the nature, like I feel like it's different. It's just different.
The nature to me, the way I would interpret it is happiness. That make you happy. That make him happy. I wouldn't. You can't compare a man and woman's actions because we think different.
Right.
So like, what fuels you is not what fuels me.
Right.
So I would never try to knock you for feeling away, or and vice versa, because we two different species. Like, it's literally cat and dog. It's not we human, but it's two different types. So I would say the nature of it is happiness. And what if that was his form of happiness? Would you not be okay with it? No, still not.
Go get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it.
Yo, no, but I respect it though. But I'm gonna be real. The reason I like to have these conversations and get women perspective, because the more I start to like observe, and before I used to be trying to like, that's why I tell men like, yo, you got to be honest about the way you are, so you don't gotta lie to a woman. Because my whole thing is giving y'all the ability to think for yourselves, like. And outside of the terms of being a leader, but I'm just saying, like, all right, look, this is what I'm on. You fucking with me or you not? Because you never want to be in a position where you got to lie to your girl. Because now the conversation's not even about what you did.
Right.
The fact that it's about being a liar. But if a man honest and you like, nah, but it just don't work for everybody. But if you find a man that might be on purpose and away from that, because the more successful you want to be, the less I understand that to get where I want in life, I have to have a girlfriend. I cannot be out here dating, and that's why my fast was like so crazy. I met her during my fast, but we didn't even like. I wasn't even interested like on that, because like she walked up to me and like introduced herself and all that. And she ain't try to talk to me, and then she just was like, "Yeah, I be seeing your stuff. Ooh, cool. Like, all right, yeah, whatever." I ain't even gonna ask if she wanted a picture. I'm like, "You want a picture?" She like, "No." I'm like, "All right, well, thanks, nice to meet you." But I'm so focused on my fast, like I wasn't even on that, and we didn't catch up till like months later. But the fact of the matter is, I had to go through that phase as a man, because if I would have kept just flying to Houston, flying to Atlanta, flying to Miami, all these different places, trying to move around, I wouldn't be focused.
Right.
But that's me, but if a man hasn't found his focus, like 9 times out of 10, a lot of these relationships are with men who, and I learned that that's why most men be like, all right, I'm gonna keep the house happy, but I'm gonna just do my thing on the side, because if I try to tell my girl, she not gonna understand. She not gonna understand. I don't give 2 shits about what's going on over here. I really want to be here, but it just, I don't know, we just think different. We operate with a different line of thinking. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you a question now. I didn't answer it too, and I've been getting long-winded. All right, so just to land the plane on a whole dating thing, let's talk about what you feel like. What's your ultimate goal? Even as an individual.
As relationship-wise, or just
everything? Like, let's do all pillars: career, relationship, family. Like, what does May's dream life look like? If you could be 38 and it's like you hit it, you got 10 years to go, and you got everything you wanted, what that look like?
Just at home, pretty much just with my family. Like, I value family, so just married, kids.
Yeah. How many? We want the vision. How many?
3.
3 kids,
at
married.
The max.
3 kids, married. What the crib look like?
Sitting on a couple acres.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sitting on a couple acres. But yeah.
That's pretty much that. What's your favorite car? If you ain't got it already.
Favorite car? I'm gonna say a Lamborghini.
So is that gonna be in the garage?
Definitely.
All right, so Lambo, crib sitting on acres, 3 kids, husband. Sound like a good life. We ain't gonna put no time limit on it, but if that's what your goal and that's your purpose, then I'm pretty sure that's what you're working towards. So let me ask you this: do you feel like there's anything that you need to work on to prepare yourself for that life, that relationship, that marriage, all that?
Definitely. Like, I feel like, I did the work. Like, I did some of the work. Like, I'm still doing it right now. Like, right now, like, I'm, like, while I'm working, on, like, business and stuff, like, I'm also working on myself. But, like, prior to, getting here, like, I was in a toxic relationship. So, after that, I went to therapy and, actually did the work. And I had to, like, really sit with myself. Like, all right, well, this is where I went wrong, and, really just hold myself accountable. Like, all right, well, one day I do want to find, like, a good man, but I got to be a good woman, like, I got to be, a good person. So I really just had to do the work. Like, I could have, after I got out the relationship, I could have just, like, went on to the next relationship and just,
fulfilled that void.
Forming, like, trauma bonds and, putting that trauma on the next person, or, dumping that trauma on, the next guy. So I could have did that, but I feel like that was selfish. It would have been selfish of me. Like, I feel like the person that was after him didn't deserve, the shit that he did. Like, so I had to, like, unpack some trauma. I had to, like, heal. Like, I had to grow and stuff like that. So I feel like, I definitely did the work, and I'm still working on myself to,
for sure.
show up and, be the best version of myself and be the, you know, a good woman. So I can, you know, one day.
What you want.
Exactly.
So, all right. So within the business realm, you got trucking, you got laundromats, properties. Can you tell me in each lane? I don't want this to sound like pocket watching, but I was trying to figure out like how many laundromats you got, how many trucks do you have? Like, are you know what I mean? Like, where are you at in this development? Is it some of it still developing, or is like you already got multiple in each lane?
So I got multiple in each lane. Right now I own 8 properties, 7-figure portfolio. I got 3 trucks, 2 laundromats. Yeah. And I'm still, you know, with the coaching business, I'm still, you know, scaling that. You know, I told myself like I want to be more present, show up, and you know, just be like, you know, because I always been like low key, like I want to be behind the scenes.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know, I always like I just made my Instagram in 2021. Like, seriously? Yeah.
Because it was crazy because I was going down to do my research, and I'm like, shit, her project just started in 2021.
Yeah, and I wasn't really focused on, like, you know, of course I had other social media platforms, but like I wasn't focused on.
Because you was on Twitter, I remember that.
Yeah, like I wasn't focused on like Instagram and stuff like that, but I just got like, you know, on being active on social media. Like, you know, I met like a good friend of mine, long story short, and she told me, like, you know, showed me the power of like just having being on platform. You know, having that platform, how you can monetize, you know, being on social media and stuff like that. So it was just like, once she showed me that, it was like, it was up after that. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, I gotta, you know, show up. I gotta, you know, put myself out there. I gotta be present. Like, yeah, like I'm a introvert, kind of like extrovert, but like I can't, like, if I like where I'm trying to go and, you know, what I'm trying to do, I can't keep playing like behind the scenes, you know. No, like 100%. I feel like a part of my purpose is like, you know, helping people. So it's just like I gotta be present. Like, you know, I gotta operate in a space where as though I gotta, you know, put myself out there. You know, like, so it's just like, all right, part of me, like, you know, wanted to just stay like, you know, off the scenes and, you know, off the radar and stuff like that. But I feel like I got a purpose, like a gift, a talent, like, you know. So it's like God called me to do you know, what he,
his work.
Yeah, his work. So just like I gotta show up, like 100%. You know, I gotta, you know, be on the forefront and 100%. You know, stuff like that. So it's just like, you know, I went through that process. Like, man, I don't want to be on social media, like, but I think I did the switch. Like, you know, I'm coming out of that. Like, all right, well, you know, if I am gonna be on social media, I'm gonna, you know, make the best of it. You know, I'm not scrolling Instagram just to be scrolling. Right. You know, like I'm. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: let's give some games to the people that's watching. Should we? I might have start calling you the passive income queen in a sense because you want it, but and I don't know if somebody already trademarked that name. It's just something that came to me. But just thinking about it, give us some tips on, you know, passive income was boring to me. So like, give us some tips on, for one, how to create passive income. I see you do that a lot on your page, and then how to live through it, like how to still feel purposeful while your money is making itself.
So pretty much, say the question again?
All right, first part, I'm break it down. First part is how to create the passive income. Then second, and I guess that's a personal question. I want to know, like, when you create it, how do you like be patient while like not you making money but you're not having to do nothing? So is that like, how do you still feel purposeful? Do you just do anything else in the world?
So as far as creating passive income, I just feel like you gotta find those businesses or those investments that you're, you know, willing to put the work in, like upfront. Because I say passive income, but it gotta get to the point of passive. Like everything is not like I didn't start out making, you know, like passive income when trucking or laundromats and stuff like that. Like I literally had to put the work in. Like, you know, I had to do the work to get to the point of, all right, now I'm making money in my sleep. Like I don't have to physically, you know, be at these businesses, or I don't have to physically, you know, run these businesses by myself. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like I had to pretty much put the work in, but later in time, like, you know, I put myself in a position, and, you know, where though I don't have to, you know, do everything on my own. So now, you know, I'm just making money in my sleep. But
makes sense. And the second part was really just like, now you're making money in your sleep. What do you do with your free time? Is it all fun and games, or is it still a sense of purpose?
Yeah, it's still a sense of purpose. Like I said, I'm big on family. I like to spend time with my family. I'm big on traveling. Like I love to travel. Like my free time, I'm traveling. Like, you know, going different countries, going different, you know, places. And I like kids. Like I used to work with kids back in the day. So, you know, I just sometimes I might go volunteer, or, I might, do volunteer work just with kids and stuff like that. So just like
find other ways.
Yeah, find other ways. But outside of, work and stuff like that, I might, be traveling, spending time with family, hanging out with friends, just, do stuff that make me happy.
I asked that because when, I want to say in 2021, probably when I set still the most, it was like making the most passive income because I had a couple things going on, event space, stuff like that. And I was bored. And even though I was traveling, I still got bored because, like I really was like feeling like I wasn't doing nothing meaningful. I was watching the money come in. Right. Cause even books is passive, right? Because you got the ebook. I got your ebook. That joint crazy. Y'all got to get that. But and it's on business funding.
Business credit.
Business credit. Yeah. Business credit. Yeah. So that was a good joint or whatever. But I got the books and it was like I could make money. I could just wake up and there's money coming in. But I still want to go talk about it. I still want to. So I had to find, this time around, I had to find that purpose after I did the product. It was like, even if this product was to blow up overnight, I still want to have work to do. I don't want to be sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's why I asked, because I'm like, how do you got so much passive income. It's like, if you do work, it's by choice, I'm sure, because you already did the work up front. Right. So I wanted to know what you did with your free time, because I was trying to see if I could add it to my, itinerary of things to do once I get my passive up where I needed to be. But I'm definitely going to tap in and get some gems from you. I feel like I learned a lot from you on the side of business. And I'm a man, but at the end of the day, I told you on the joint, like, you got a lot of wisdom, you got a lot of game, and I need some of that game because I'm trying to get to that level. But do you got anything that you want to leave them with? You know what I mean? Anything? So lastly, last discussion really is like things that you want to leave the people, but like some game that you got to give, or some value you just want to leave on the platform for somebody that might. So that person that was started where you at, that's nowhere near where you at today, but started at that broke college kid. Talk to them. Talk to that person that's 7 years behind, your journey.
So I think I did a live one day and I was talking about this, but basically, like, you just gotta start wherever you at. Like, you gotta start with what you have and start, where you're at. Like, and I feel like a lot of people, like, is with this, like, with so much going on, like, in, like, the social media realm and stuff like that, we always on social media, comparing ourselves, like, our chapter 1 to somebody else chapter 10. Like, I feel 100%. Like you in this day and age, you really just gotta protect your ear gates and your eye gates. Like, you gotta, like, just be able to just stay focused. Like, just stay focused, have that tunnel vision, because, like I said, when I graduated college, I had these goals, I had these aspirations, like, I had all this stuff that I wanted to do, but I knew that I had to make some sacrifices. Like, I knew I had to sacrifice partying and hanging out with friends and, traveling, like, doing all of the, all the stuff that I wanted to do. But at that time, I knew I had to, pretty much sacrifice and, give up those things right now for me to be able to be where I'm at today. So pretty much you just gotta, stay focused, have tunnel vision, and just keep going. Like, put one foot in front of the other and just go. Like, take action, and pretty much like I said, it's all about, making sacrifices, making risks. Like it was like times when, I started, making money and stuff like that. Like, I ain't buy my first Chanel bag until I had $50,000 saved up in the bank. Like, I was like, all right, well, I had a purpose. I had a vision. Like, I'm trying to get to somewhere. Like, I had to really, like, navigate and, like, all right, well, this is my stay down season. Like, I gotta, how you planting seeds. Like, you can't plant seeds and eat the fruit at the same time. Like, right. Just like during this time, like, when I was, like, hustling and I'm, starting businesses and I'm, buying property, like, that was a time where I was just like, all right, well, I can't do this. I can't travel. I can't, club. I can't buy, a Chanel bag, or I can't buy, designer and stuff like that. Like, I'm trying to get to somewhere. So just like, a lot of times it just comes down just to staying focused. Like, sometimes you just gotta block out the noise and, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, I didn't start doing certain things till I put myself in certain rooms. Like, I had to get out of my comfort zone. Like, okay, well, I want to continue to grow. I want more out of life. Like, I need to put myself around people that's doing things that I want to do, like, at a higher level. Like, I needed to put myself around people that was, you know, living this life that I want to live, you know? So it's just like, I had to see it to believe it, you know? So it's just like, just getting uncomfortable, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone and just putting yourself around, you know, people that's on the same path as you, or just got that, you know, just bringing something to the table, or just doing something. Like, you know, I feel like they say you are the 5 people that you hang around, so you got to be mindful of the people that you hanging around, like what y'all doing on your free time and stuff like that. So I just say that to say, like, you know, whoever is watching, you know, those moments where, you know, you just trying to figure it out, like, you know, start where you at, you know, with what you have, and just, you know, put the work in.
My last and final question is, why Houston?
Why Houston? I lived in DC for 4 years. I lived in DC for 4 years, and I just got tired of being there. Like, I was like, I always knew I wanted to be in Texas, and I'm like, all right, I just made the move. Like, I was like, all right.
So it was just like, it wasn't because of the trend of everybody moving there.
It wasn't. It wasn't even about the trend or, you know, stuff like that. But I always knew that I wanted to be in Texas. So when I went to Houston and I visited, it was just like, all right, yeah, this is for me.
Sense.
Like, this is
that. You got because every time you say something, you notice when it's for you. Like, you got that intuitive ability. This is my laundromat. This is where I'm supposed to live. This is my purpose. I think that's dope. I think that it might be an anointment over you, to where though, like, you really do have like of course you see it's evident in the success you have that you following your purpose, but the fact that you're able to recognize, like, this is my place, like, you're decisive, like, you know, like, this is for me, this is it. So I think that's dope. I want to commend you. Another thing I want to give you your flowers, just, you know, not knowing much of how you got here, but seeing where you at and been watching for the last few years and seeing how you progress from what I thought started with the laundromat up until what you got going on now, and that's dope. And you know, I wish you the best of luck on your success, and just keep elevating. And I'm happy to know that you're stepping into a space of coaching and putting your wisdom and game on other people, because you are a blueprint. You've done it. So, you know, giving people the opportunity to learn from you, I think that's dope. It's always good to share and spread knowledge, because we wouldn't be who we are if we didn't have people share and spread knowledge to us.
Exactly, because it's like, you know, at one point in time in my life, it's like, you know, I didn't have this information, like, you know, or like I was looking for somebody to, you know, help me, and you know, I didn't know who to go to and stuff like that. So it was just like, you know, I just, you know, in my journey of figuring it out, like, you know, I'm like, damn, I wish I had somebody to, like, you know, teach me, or you know, just help me or guide me, or, you know, show me the way. So now it's just like, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be that person that, you know, to help others, like, you know, that might not, you know, they don't know to look left or right. Like, I want to, you know, be able to just, like, you know, help, like, you know, and bring awareness. Like, you know, I feel like our generation and today's age is just like, you know, I feel like we behind.
100%.
Like, we behind. So just, like, being able to, like, bring that awareness of, you know, financial literacy, and, you know, being able to reach that goal of financial freedom. Like, I just want to be able to, like, you know, show people, like, okay, well, this is what's possible, you know? Like, so, just being in that space, and, like, you know, the coaching space, and just being in that, you know, that space is like, you know, I enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy, like, helping other people, and you know, because I know when I first started, like, I didn't have all the answers. I didn't know, like, you know, about business credit. Like, you know, what made me get into, you know, the business credit realm, and, like, you know, the funding and everything, is when, you know, I started my laundromat, and I basically, like, put all my money into it. I went broke, basically investing in my laundromat
with your own money.
With my own money. So at the time, like, I had to think quick on my feet. Like, I had to really, like, figure it out. Like, all right, well, you know I got good credit. I got an 800 credit score. Like, I know I can go into the bank and get me some money. So that's why I had to really, like, all right, well, use my resources. I've been, you know, putting in, you know, learning the information. Now it's time to apply the information.
100%.
So it was just like, all right, well, now, you know, you got the information, go ahead and apply it. So when I started, you know, getting out there and, you know, going to the banks and getting loans and credit, and now I'm accumulating over, you know, $200,000-$300,000 of credit and business funding. I'm like, dang, like, I was like, it's crazy. Like, you know, like, why they don't teach this in school? Like, why they don't teach this in school? So it's just like, it's just so crazy how everything just works. So I was just like, it was a mind blower. So it was just like, all right, well, you know, back when I was, you know, learning it, and, you know, learning all the thing about business credit and business funding, I was like, all right, well, I want to bring awareness to the community. Like I want to. Like I know how it feels to be on the other side. Like I was in this position like a few years ago when I ain't know nothing. So now it's just like, all right, well I want to help the next person like to bring that awareness.
Cut
like
their learning curve.
Exactly. Like I want to like, all right, well we going to cut the learning curve. Like we going to work smarter, not harder. 100%. Like we're going to use the bank money to start these businesses. 100%. We're going to use the bank money to invest in these, different income streams and stuff like that. We're not using our money no more. Like we're not doing that. So I just fire. Like that's why I really, enjoy doing the coaching and stuff like that. Just helping people, like
So let me ask you to let us know where we can purchase your products, your services, or where they can support the laundromat. And even if you got some curbs for sale or something that you're trying to get out there, now's the time.
So yeah, I got a business credit book if you go to my Instagram, Topnotch_May, I have a business credit book. I'm also coming out with a course and webinar on just start the whole laundromat game and,
That's dope.
How to, start a laundromat, how to find laundromats, how to, just get into the business. So I definitely have that coming. Also, I have a mentorship coming up too as well. So I got that coming up in a couple months, just going on there, teaching, helping people get funding and, using the funding to
help them get
other, investments, passive income and stuff like that. Yeah. So I told myself I'm gonna dedicate, that time to really like, all right, well, lock in, like I want to help.
Yeah, that's
like I want to help the next like 30 people. Like, are we going to get 200,000, 300,000 in funding? Are we going to go buy these, businesses or get these, investments and stuff like that? So I'm excited about that.
I'm definitely going to tap in.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. So yeah, I got a lot of, stuff in the works, like a lot of stuff in the works. But yeah, check me out. Instagram, Topnotch May, and
so this was an amazing conversation. I'm glad that you added everything you just added to the end. I think that it was no better way to conclude the discussion than to drop some game, get some value, and let people know all the stuff that you can add to it. Because this was like a deep conversation. This was like we focused on like a lot of the deep stuff.
Right.
But to end it with the gems, I think it lightens it a lot and it gives people something to think about on their way out. So again, thank you for coming all the way here to talk to me. And, open line of communication. Like I said, I could be a resource. You could be a resource. However, maintain the relationship, you know what I'm saying? And, it's the start of something that's going to be major. So
definitely.
I hope everybody out here watching, I hope y'all enjoy it. Y'all make sure y'all catch her on Instagram at Topnotch_May. And just keep up with her journey. Y'all know where to find me at wolfnetworkwse on all platforms. And, that's pretty much it. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode of The Couch. See y'all soon, man. Take it easy.